Welcome to NEXTGames video on how to solo the June 2019 Intense Ambuscade battle against the Gigas on Easy. The Ambuscade this month is a difficult one, so you would think it would be the usual story of not being able to beat it on Easy if you were solo. However, with some trial and error, I have found a strategy that works reliably for this month's Intense Ambuscade on the Easy difficulty. First, let's take a look at what makes this such a hard battlefield. So in this fight, there are three Gigas. The first one is the Bosetto Marshal. He is a warrior and will use the accompanying 2-hour ability of Mighty Strikes during the fight. The pattern of his attacks will go melee swing, and then a Gigas TP move, and then melee swing, and then a Gigas TP move, and so on, back and forth. The Bosetto Swift Shooter is a ranger, and will use Eagle Eye for his 2-hour. And his pattern of attacks are similar in that he will do ranged attack, a Gigas TP move, ranged attack, Gigas TP move, and so on. Now the Bosetto NLS is a samurai, and his pattern is slightly different because all he uses is TP moves. So there is no real pattern to his attacks, but he does have access to many more TP moves than the two other Gigas do. The first additional ability he has access to is Mercurial Strike. This will wipe all of your shadows and do 500 to 1000 damage. The next one is Moribund Hack. This is an AoE damage ability that will ignore your shadows and do 500 to 1000 damage. By ignores your shadows, I mean it won't wipe them, but it will completely ignore them and go past them. The next one is Nether Castigation. This is an AoE damage ability that also ignores your shadows and does 500 to 1000 damage. This brings us to the final ability and definitely the most dangerous one of this fight. It is Muzzling Wallop. It is an AoE damage ability that will only do 300 to 500 damage, so you think it wouldn't be that bad. But there are many additional things that this ability does when it hits you and all of your party. First, it will wipe your shadows. Next, it will knock you back about 20 feet. Additionally, it will silence you. And then the most devastating thing is it will take away up to 5 times the damage done to all of the people it hits from their MP pool. So in this instance, if you get hit for 300 damage, you will lose 1500 MP. This makes it near impossible for any of your mages to keep magic points during this fight. The way we deal with this is by using very specific trust. So first, let's talk about the strategy. You will enter the battlefield and immediately engage Bosetto NLS, the biggest Gigas you see on the field. August will grab Hate, and as soon as you see him do that, you want to switch over to the Warrior Gigas, the Bosetto Marshal. Immediately kill him as fast as you can. Use things like NIN to maximize your damage. Once the Warrior is dead, switch over to the Bosetto Swift Shooter, the Ranger. Kill him as fast as you can. Throughout this entire process, August should have Hate of all 3 Gigas. Now normally, during this setup, August will die sometime near the end of the Ranger or sometime during the final Gigas of the Samurai, but that's okay. You basically are just using him to help you get past these first 2 Gigas so that you can have a clean fight with the last one when August does eventually die you. Now let's talk about exactly what your trust will be doing while this entire fight goes on. As I said, August is there to keep Hate on all of the Gigas while you do as much damage as possible. Olmia is there so that she can keep March on you so that, again, you are doing as much damage as possible. Koromoro is there to get Haste 2 on you, and as well as to keep cures up when Yoran runs out of MP. Yoran is there to cure you, silence you as soon as you get silenced by the Muzzling Wallop, and then get paralyzed off you when you get paralyzed. Also, Yoran's pretty special in this setup because he has the ability to use his TP to get MP back. The most crucial part of this setup is Seth, because as the Muzzling Wallops keep hitting your party, that's going to force Seth to continually keep using Rejuvenation, which will restore HP, MP, and TP to the entire party. So as the Muzzling Wallops keep going off, Seth will just keep using Rejuvenation and keep giving MP back to all of your mages, as well as curing your entire group and giving you a little TP bonus to get more damage in. So Seth is really the most critical part of this setup to make sure this whole system keeps going as the Muzzling Wallops keep eating all of your mages' MP. Lastly, I wanted to go over a few things that I tried that didn't work well during this fight. First off, I thought Dancer naturally would be a good sub-job to take for this fight, so that I could cure myself when my mages had run out of NP. Sadly, I learned that this slowed the fight down too much, and that it ultimately was self-defeating. The second thing I tried was going straight for the Bozetto NLS, to try and take him out as quickly as possible, so that my mages could then get their NP pool back. Sadly though, all of his Muzzling Wallops were even more dangerous now with 2 other Gigas on me, and I ended up wiping several times during those attempts. The last thing I tried was going for the Bozetto Swift Shooter first, as opposed to the Warrior. Sadly, all 3 times I tried this, my trust lagged behind, and didn't actually join me over at the Ranger for a good 30 seconds to a minute, making it so things like Haste, Protect, and Shell weren't on me for that time. So ultimately I decided that the Ranger should be second and the Warrior should be first to stop that from happening. Now let's see how one of these fights goes on the easy difficulty. Enjoy the fight. see we got 600 Halmarks for that run, so that would be 1,800 with a seal. Also goes without saying, but these same techniques and strategies can be used for beating it on the very easy difficulty if you are having problems beating it on easy. Hope everyone has a great month, and I'll see you next month for the next Intense Ambuscade video.